Hey guys, Spirit of the Law here. Welcome back to another episode of my Age of Empires on Fridays series. This is a game that I played a really long time ago. In fact, it was before I even started to go by Spirit of the Law, and I was going by Sentry. So this is a very, very long time ago. Okay, it was like 5 months ago, but you know what I'm saying. You're going to see some pretty noobish play from me here, and some weird things like having my villagers standing around and do nothing instead of looking for sheep. So this is actually a 3 versus 2. I think at this point I was like a 16-20 or something like that. LO, I just started off, and it is actually LO and not ELO. I have seen the error of my ways. It's named after a mathematician. His last name was LO. It is not ELO. It shouldn't even be capitalized, apparently. This is news to me. It might be news to you. So on our team here we have... So I'm in the yellow, I'm Japanese, as always, and in the green, also in my ally, is Cats, playing as the Huns, and this is Rocco in the purple, and this is his first time playing an online map, so that kind of balances it out a little bit. Tom Brown is like a 1670 ELO player. He was the top ranked player in this. He's playing in blue, he's on the other team, so it's us three against these two. And he's playing as the Slavs, one of the new civilizations in Forgotten Empires. And we have in the red, Thug Mansion for Life, playing as, what is playing as? The Incas. Kind of an interesting choice. I find the Incas are one of the weaker civilizations. They're also new, and I don't know, I don't see too many strengths to them, to be completely honest. He plays them well, though, and they have some interesting... if you haven't seen it before, just give you a quick overview about the Incas. Nothing really seems all that great. That buildings costing less stone is nice, and farms being built like that seems like, I don't know, it's not super strong. And the Slavs farmers work 15% faster, which is crazy. And also siege workshop units are cheaper. And the Boyar, if you haven't seen this before, these things have 6 armor. But then they can upgrade it another 4, so they end up with 10 melee armor. So they're basically they're quite expensive. However, they're basically Teutonic knights on horses. It's kind of insane. So Slavs are a really good civilization, although not as good as the Japanese, of course, according to me. These sheep, I should be bringing them in. I'm probably going to be nitpicking my play today, since this was a while ago. Okay, so Rocco's on 12, I'm on 14, just looking at population. Cats is on 15, and so everybody's pretty close, to be fair. So this map type, I think this is called Fortress. It was a blind random that we did, but it was, so it's a fortress. I think it's called Fortress. So we have a palisade wall surrounding us. We have some resources inside, although there's also lots of resources out on the map for the taking, for those who are brave enough to go outside the walls. The palisade wall kind of gives you the feeling of safety, but is really not a huge advantage, to be completely honest. It's pretty easy to break through walls, especially when you have this long of them, and Tom Brown chose even to break his open, probably to lure a boar in. And yeah, so you have a couple of deer and stuff. Food's kind of the main thing, though, is being able to find all your food, and this is kind of unfortunate positioning. Shouldn't be taking wood from the front, we should be taking it from the back here. We all have this shared wood, and theoretically there is a chance that if he is taking wood from here, which he is, and if I'm taking wood, if I start taking it from over here, there is a chance that we would actually cut through in the middle, and that's just something to be aware of as well. I'm not going to say whether that happens this game or not. So we figured out where they are. This is a 3 versus 2, and which is always kind of fun. It kind of forces you to play a little bit differently, play differently than you normally would, and kind of respond to things in a different way. You can also get civilizations that mix and match with each other in different ways, and I'm a big fan of 3 versus 2s and 1 versus 2s and stuff like that. So I've actually moved out. I know it seems kind of weird why I have a mill here, why don't I lure the boar. I wasn't super good at luring at this stage, not that I'm super good at luring now anyway. I guess the idea is Japanese also get cheaper mills, and they get cheaper lumber camps and all that stuff. So really I've built 2, but I'm not any worse off than, I guess he didn't even build 1. Okay. Oh no, we did. Okay, so I'm no worse off than anybody else who built 1 mill already, as you would build, as you should build, beside the forage bushes. So, although it is not necessarily using one of my advantages, it's a little bit sloppy leaving a villager just hanging out. And what am I looking around at this point? I'm just staring right there, just staring at the villager, not doing anything. And yeah, we were talking about kind of what strategy we want to do, and I was saying they're probably going to rush one of us, since it's a 3 versus 2, and they'll try to neutralize that a little bit quickly. And of course, everybody knows that this is Purple's first game. Throwing down 3 barracks, that's interesting, especially if he can't sustain production at even 1. That's kind of an interesting choice. And who else is going up? So Cass is actually a long ways away. He needs some more food. Where are all his villagers? He has a very good population. Oh, I see. Okay, he's also building outside. Okay, I like that idea. And I am going feudal. And where am I? Over here. Okay, so Red scouted me out. It also makes sense that they would rush the nearest person to them. That leaves the middle player to boom. However, I guess the idea is just pressure faster is good, because we start to get a lot of advantages as the game goes on, being on the team with more players. First of all, we get more population room than they do. Even though the population is 300, we have a potential of 900 units, they have a potential of 600. And as well, just the extra resources that you get inside of your base just really adds up. Yeah, but both teams get to trade, which is one thing that's a little bit unfair about 2 versus 1s, is the one player doesn't actually get to trade. Okay, so let's take a look at how some of the better players are doing. And throw down archery, probably looking to rush here. Interesting that he's, yeah. Let's take a look at some of the scouting. So blue's just kind of going around, taking a look at the whole thing. Red is still just going around, just making sure they know where all the colors are. Identify where the walls are. Luckily, he hasn't seen anything here that I have going on, because that's quite open. Kaz is kind of taking a look at the nearby area, and I've checked out my side. I'm probably going to be, researching cartography. I'm a big fan. It gives me a lot of map visibility. This is interesting, probably because he's worried about being rushed, which is a good idea, and I kind of suggested to him that he would be, so fair enough. Although he's currently scouting my wood line at the moment, and just getting in the way of my villagers that are cutting wood. That's okay. Yeah, so it looks like all of us kind of planning to extend outside as quickly as possible. Not necessarily a bad strategy. I haven't really chosen to go out too far because I'm a little worried about getting rushed. And at this point, I'm not like super comfortable. I think this is one of my first team games. That might not be true. I think this is maybe like my 8th or 10th game. So I was feeling okay, and I had my ideas of what I like to do, like building a little house wall around here, which, to be fair, isn't really necessary since these villagers are all protected by the town center fire anyway. Yeah, I was just pointing out that his scout was just basically hanging out in my wood line. Not too much need to scout me there. I'm going to try to wall this off, and I wasn't really planning to make this all stone wall. I just didn't like the idea of this being so exposed and open, especially once I've invested a lot of wood into this. So let's wall that off. What would have been an interesting idea would have been trying to wall a side of the map like that, or to take that and try to wall. That would have been a very aggressive wall. But just something like that would have been an interesting strategy. But it looks like red is starting to make a move against me here, and blue is starting to make a move at the same time with some archers and some skirmishers. Good early rush. I don't even know if it's really a rush anymore. We're talking about 21 minutes, and I'm Castle Age. I'm first one castle. I was fast castling, I guess you could call it. I don't really have like a super specific build. I did know about these. I was ready for these, and I threw down something, right? I just started making a few. I, to be honest, was worried more about knights than anything. And the fact that I was almost castle made me think they're probably going to be castle soon. And I just thought I'd offer them a little peace sacrifice and throw my scout there. Yeah, I guess, don't worry guys, it's all in the plan. This is probably not a good idea. I don't think I would have done this now. I think I'd be going more siege workshop. And here, the plan is another town center, just keep this safe, and I'm feeling like this is safe here. Keep these villagers safe, keep these safe. Not too worried. I'm really not concerned about this rush, to be honest, at the moment. I see I'm beating them in score. I think my economy is not too bad. I don't know, I have as many units as I can see they have, and I have a higher score, so I figure, well, the rest of that must be economy. Probably my scouting is helping a little bit. I did have quite a bit of scouting that I did. All of the scouting is by me. So look at Tom Brown here. He's doing a nice little raid. Red's kind of building up over here. He's building a castle, which is a very interesting idea. And I'm not really responding to that too much. We'll jump back to that, but this is kind of where the action's happening right now. Tom Brown is going into Rocco's base, and Rocco, being kind of new, doesn't have really a plan to deal with this. This is a good idea though, building towers. You should garrison inside of them to give them extra fire. Yeah, just build a couple towers around his town. That would be a good idea, actually. And he does have the stone to build another tower. So to be fair, he could put another one over here, maybe protect his gold and his wood line. And actually, this is a pretty good idea by him. But more archers coming in. I'm a little surprised that Blue is still continuing to... Well, okay, this is a good idea. So he's getting the tower up a little bit too late. He's going to lose a lot of villagers here, but once that's up, it's... Blue's going to need some siege here if he wants to keep going, because that town center fire is pretty good. So this wasn't my idea. They told me, and for some reason I listened, go attack Blue. I had some skirmishers and I had some pikes, and I was just kind of believing them and went out and did it, and I was like, wait, why am I doing that? Because that wasn't my plan. This isn't a threat to me right now. I'm walling this off. I have siege. I have mangonels coming. I'm gonna take out his archers. I'm not worried. I'm gonna wall along this. I'm gonna wall along this. I'm not too worried at this point. I almost have enough for a castle. I think I took some off wood and I put them onto stone. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if I would have done that now, but yeah. So we're gonna have a castle there. I'm not too worried about that. And you know, to be fair, Purple's actually holding his own here. He's getting raided a lot harder than I am, and now there's even crossbows, and he's managing to kind of scare these guys out with his towers. Not upgraded yet. Those should be upgraded, but probably 3 barracks wasn't totally useful. Probably a blacksmith instead. Oh no, he's got a blacksmith. Oh no, he's good. What's the problem? This is very smart by Red to try and take down my walls, put his castle to work, and I'm sending more peace and sacrifice offerings to him. Not sure what my plan is there, and we're gonna throw up a castle here real soon, right? Right? Maybe not. Okay, I should be throwing a castle up in here at some point. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, and Blue's starting to realize this isn't gonna happen with archers alone. Throwing a ram, this is gonna finish us out. He's calling for help. We don't have a whole lot at this point, actually, that we can send. Green has been mostly booming up, so I have 63. He has 53 going Imperial, which is good. Looking at 59 and 69 and 28. Okay, so just taking a look around. They're definitely doing better than we are. I have the most population on our team. I'm throwing up a castle here to defend this whole region. I've walled this off. I don't really feel pressured by this. Yes, there is gold out there, and I'm going to want that eventually, but I have 2 back golds. I'm going to make a wall of houses back here to keep this protected. Theoretically, I should put some kind of gate here or something, or something so that if they do get in, they're not going to get into everywhere. But I have gold coming in. I have lots of resources. I'm okay to sending these out. Oh, and he takes me out in one shot. Yeah, that was really bad. I'm starting to build outside, starting to get houses, so I'm just going to throw a bunch of houses down here. Probably the worst place I could have put them. Purple's base is getting overrun here. He's getting taken out by Blue, and the Rams has basically abandoned the whole thing. To be fair, probably some villagers in here coming out, attacking this. He probably could have kept this base going for a lot longer. But it really is a matter of time. And here's Tom Brown, and I don't know if he sees this. No, he doesn't quite see it. If he just moved forward just that much, he would see it. But nope, alas. Well, good for us. I'm not quite Imperial. I should probably rebalance my eco a little bit. I'm having way too much gold, if anything. Finally going up to Imperial. I don't know. I assume I bought some food and just said, screw it, I'm going Imperial. I'm gonna go for some, because I noticed that he's actually still in Castle Age. Let's take a look. He's not even, well, okay, he's pretty close to Imperial. If he were to just stop building units for just a little bit, he would have the food to go Imperial. It's really big. You have to make sure you capitalize right when you go to Imperial and you make trebuchets. So a stalemate like this where he can't move forward with those rams, I have mangonels ready. He is going to, and that's not going to go well for him. And for me, I don't really have anything that can take this out. But as soon as I get trebuchets, it's over. So on some Eagle Warriors. Eagle Warriors are very expensive in terms of gold. I'm not too worried about this at this point. And especially since I have these come out. Take out this threat. And his Eagle Warriors are going to get taken out. I don't think Samurai have a bonus against Eagle Warriors. They're not considered unique units. However, they're quite weak to infantry, and that was my thinking here. Is Samurais attack quickly, and they're fairly strong, fairly cheap. Cheaper on gold than, yeah, oh man, and this is the worst play I've done. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Okay, so Blue has decided to come in and set up shop in my base, a little chop shop where he's going to get wood, and he's also setting one up in here where he's going to take green stone. And, yeah, so I'm down here, I'm just building, and having a little bit of banter with Purple. Okay, I'm glad that we're both Canadians. We agree, you know what, we'll share, we'll be friends. Green doing a really good job of just expanding outside of his base, and I think he's okay with losing some of his resources to Purple to take them because, well, he's got his own things to think about right now, and I think he's got plenty of resources, come to think of it. I think he's doing quite well. He's getting raided here, and I think he's got this under control with his Tarkans here. This shouldn't be too big of a deal, but it's going to turn to a battle between green and blue and me and red. And I am Imperial Age now, which means trebuchets are on the way, mangonels are on the way. All I've seen from him so far are slingers and crossbowmen, which are easy to take with mangonels. The Eagle Warriors, I have the Samurai to deal with, so I'm not too worried about his unit composition at the moment. We'll throw out some trebuchets, and we'll take this out quickly, hopefully. And I'm gonna make what do you call it? I'm gonna make a monastery pretty soon and start taking up some of these. Kind of lamenting the fact normally at 40 minutes I'd have tons and tons of resources. At this point I was kind of big into stocking resources. I'm not as big into that now as I was at that particular point in time. We're doing the smart thing here, and he's kind of laying claim to some of these resources. If this were me in his position, I'd be throwing down town centers here to pump out, or I guess he is, and pump out some villagers. And sometimes in the 3 versus 2, if you have one, and I'm not saying this about Purple, but if you have one really weak player on your team and they get taken out really fast, I wouldn't call this being taken out fast here, but if one person gets taken out really fast, you end up giving their resources to the other person. So I was recently playing a 2 versus 2 where one of the guys left on the other team right away, and it ended up being really hard for the player that was left on the other team because I jumped into the other person's base and basically took it over. So I had 2 bases, and then I had my ally, so it's basically three bases of resources, and we could trade against him. Like it's sometimes losing an ally if you don't get in there and claim those resources. In this case, we didn't. Ends up being a weakness for your team. So we're gonna have to start looking at trade or something here, though, or I'm gonna have to start collecting relics because my gold is getting a little low. All that gold that I had went into mangonels and trebuchets. Trebuchets are very expensive, being 200 gold, but at this point I'm actually ready to start pushing out. We're gonna start taking out these buildings. And slingers, I don't know too much about slingers. They're anti-something. I can't remember slingers. I'm assuming that you guys might be familiar with slingers, but oh yeah, these things are anti-cavalry. Where are slingers? They should be over here somewhere. Yeah. Bonus versus infantry. Okay, well that's a nice counter to the kinds of things that I'm planning to make, which are samurai and halberdiers. So that's good to know. Very low, kind of seem like a weaker skirmisher, but with a bonus versus infantry. And it seems to me like they'll be weak against mangonels, especially with chemistry, and if I'm not killing them properly, which I'm not, I'm just killing my own units there. So I've rolled this up. I've basically given this area up just to be like a military location, and I'm going to start mining those resources. I have had access to this. I did have stone right here, so I'm not doing too bad for resources. I'm just going to start going into mills, so I'm going to start farming here a little bit more proficiently than I have been. Starting to move out. It's kind of the key to these kind of maps, is to not get completely contained within your base, but go out, start expanding. You see Green doing a really good job of that. Just making sure that you're using all the resources on the map. And that's one thing that I noticed neither of our opponents is really doing, as Green is actually coming in here and doing a good job raiding against Blue. Blue's been mostly confined to his base, except for a little bit of moving out here, although this is all just garrisoned anyway. I'm not totally sure what's going on there. And I think they're having a harder time adapting to being raided than we are, because even if you look at the scores, I've been able to rebound from those early raids and that early siege much better than Red has been, probably mostly because I'm moving out, I'm doing different things, I'm taking resources in different areas. I did do some mining outside of my base, and we're going to start doing some trade. Meanwhile, they're a little bit behind in those respects. Still stuck in his base, walking a really long way for his wood. It's just those little things that start to add up. Although I would still think that Thug Mansion is probably a better player than I am, and certainly that I was at this point. Just because, you know, it's a lot easier to play a defensive game and to respond to what they're doing than it is to be on the offensive. I think that's fair, and that's certainly fair for me. I find it's easier to defend for the first little bit and respond to what they're doing. Kind of catch them in situations of being too aggressive rather than trying to be the aggressor yourself and get yourself stuck in a bad spot. So meanwhile, while I'm basically pushing Red out, I should not be going after these houses. I should be, I don't know about that at this point, but I should be out here trying to fight this. And Arblast is an interesting choice. I'm not sure what it is that he saw, what unit I have that he saw that he thinks Arblasts are a really good counter to. I mean, Arblasts are good in a large group. Things that I would probably use Arblasts to counter, I don't know, just I guess like a really heavy infantry, and I guess I have that, but I don't know, I have a lot of skirmishers, and it seems to me like samurai aren't something that's super weak to an Arblast. I don't know, I guess maybe. But yeah, Green doing a really good job. Green is the hero of this team. I may have the score lead, but Green has been doing the most. I have certainly not pushed forward like this. I mean, here's Green's completely cleaned out Blue from this base. He's been raiding him, and here are these bowlyards. Check this out, guys. 150 health, 18 attack, 9 defense, and I would think that's going to go up. Yeah, versus 3 defense, 15 attack, 170. Like, they're just a way more powerful unit. It's that defense. It's just beastly. I'm kind of curious who's going to win here. Green had the huge numbers advantage, and I think that's going to take it. But, yeah, each hit's only doing 6 damage. So these things should be doing 15, and instead they're only doing 6 damage. And a lot of these are damaged. Had that been microed a little bit differently, yeah, I don't know. Blue may have come out on top. I think there's too much numbers disadvantage there. But, oh, you should really take one shot. One shot, that guy. Just one guy. Just give it one hit. There you go. How expensive are bowlyards? I'm a little bit curious. Slabs, bowlyards. The elite bowlyards are, yeah, a lot of gold. So, you do end up really paying for it. Whereas Teutonic Knights, I think, are 40 gold and 85 food. I might be right. Sorry, I might be wrong. I might also be right, who knows. Wow, attacking infantry with the... Okay, interesting choice. Interesting. It's pretty good. You might actually... They're only doing 2 damage each, but you know, it's... Past Castle Age, there's not too much point in using your villagers as a way to try and attack. I don't know. Probably should just run in different directions. So I'm moving out here. I'm going cavalry, so I know you're thinking, well, that's kind of weird, Japanese don't do that. They do have bloodlines in the Forgotten Empires expansion, so the light cavalry ends up being not too bad. They don't have hussars, but they do have light cavalry. I should be trying to balance my wood eco here a little bit. I'm fully seated, and I have probably equal number of lumberjacks and farmers, so maybe, how many idols? 28 idle villagers. Where are all my idle villagers? Okay, well, they should be working. Yeah. Oh, just a lot of idols. It's a little bit sloppy. I could use some more farms. I know I have all these farms. These could have been placed way more efficiently. And we're starting to do trade. I think I have a trade cart up here. Yeah. So just a tip to you guys. Try to learn from me what I'm doing right now. Build more markets. Build 2 or 3 so that it's not, you know, they only get gold for the closest distance between 2 different markets. But having a few of them lets you build these a lot faster. They're very slow to build, and when I queue up 15 of them, this is just gold that I'm not seeing anything from this gold right now. I've invested this gold, and I'm getting nothing out of it, basically. What's happening? Oh yeah, okay, so we're getting raided here. This was a good move. We didn't really have the trade up yet in order for this to be a super effective raid. I don't know if I was playing another market there or a castle, but either way, we need to defend our trade a little bit better. Still, even in the game, I was still feeling confident. We had a good army here. I didn't realize how much was actually going on the other side. I wasn't paying attention to that. It's another thing I should have been doing. The green was actually really taking this one. He had a castle up here. He's finally starting to take these resources. That's great. I love seeing that. And good unit choice. I mean, normally you wouldn't think it's very good against cavalry. We're actually only doing 1 damage each. Maybe not not a great at all. Okay, maybe not a good unit choice. Probably for a similar amount of resources, I would think pikemen or halberdiers would be way better. But either way, I mean, I shouldn't be talking. I don't have halberdiers yet, and do I have halberdiers coming? I do. I only have 1 archery range and 1 barracks. That's kind of weak. I should be building. I only have 1. I should be building a lot more of those. Anyway, so we're just gonna clean up these arbalests, and it's almost like I psychically knew he was making arbalests because, like, cavalry are a very good counter to arbalest, and I did not know that was happening. And yeah, just kind of made the perfect unit for that. So I had all these lined up. I should have been making barracks. I should have been making archery range since that's the units I was going into. I think my main goal was actually just to have the scouting. So I just wanted to send scouts around and make sure I knew what was going on the map. I felt like we were doing well. Green saying let's go. I didn't really know what the rush was, but I think because he had so much going on over here, and he's trying to hold this side, and he doesn't feel confident to push on this side, he's saying, well, let's just push on the other one. You see we're getting pretty close to cutting through. That would be interesting if I had towered this up. Don't think I did, though. Okay, and we're building, I've been collecting relics and sending different guys around. I'm trying to scout out the map, get some scouting information, just have an idea of where they are, where they're building, and know about their attacks before they come, which is a really beneficial thing to know always, obviously. And who's pushing here? And I didn't know about this pressure, but this is kind of... I'm not sure what I could have done. I probably would have sent some barracks or something over here. I did have the resources. I think we're looking at me right now. No, we're looking at Tom Brown. How many resources do I have? Yeah, I definitely had enough to come up here and support this. And Katz has a ton of resources. That guy needs to spend those resources, and he's a long ways from his pop cap, so he should be going for that. In my opinion, although he's been doing a much better job than I have at this point. There's a lot of slingers, a lot of halberdiers, as I'm coming up to build gold, not good. And this is good. He's adapted to what I'm making. He hasn't upgraded these, which he has to do. So while he did stop me from getting some gold, I got a lot of information out of that. I now know that he has halberdiers that he's making and sending over here. That's really good to know. I think Green forgot about these. So Green has his targets here, which can be really good at raiding, but we have to make sure that they're not just dying to the halberdiers first. So my halberdiers are better because Japanese have the best halberdiers in the game, and I have samurai just in case. I just love samurai, and I have skirmishers, so just a solid mix of units. I should have some onagers. Yeah, I have some onagers coming in the back in case he has archers. This is good against cavalry, unique units, and especially against archers. And it's just really, I mean, unless he's going to just try and infantry me, in which case my infantry is better anyway. And skirmishers actually have a bonus against kites, so there's really not too much that he could use against this. Probably scorpions would be a good idea, although onagers are good against scorpions. So having a mix like this really doesn't give him any options. So yeah, infantry are taken out, except maybe champions might be good against this. Like that would be the only thing that I can think of. Champions and maybe war wagons and yeah, I don't know, maybe onagers and scorpions kinda. So I'm pushing on this side. There's a little bit of a stalemate going on here. I think there's a little bit of a trebuchet fight. I was asking where the Tarkans were. I'm sending in my second army. Tarkans still aren't coming. And we're going to clean up these guys pretty fast. Onagers are crazy. So underrated. So underrated. He's going to send them down, run into my second army. Hey guys, that could have been a way better onager shot. And I'm probably going to shoot my own trebuchet here and a bunch of my guys. Nope. Okay, good. That sounds like something I would do. Okay, so I have kind of... It would be nice to have some kind of anti-infantry here. So whether that be cavalry archer or supposed to be anti-infantry, a hand cannoneer, something like that would be nice to throw in here. Pretty good overall. And now I'm asking, what are you doing? Send them in. There's no point in holding on to them. These could have gone over here, and that would have been a really good idea as well. But I think green's feeling a little occupied over here. Fair enough. His castle's under attack. He did manage to take out one castle. Blue basically rebuilt it, and now he's getting enough stone here for 2 castles. That probably would have been a location that I could have sent some units to help out, but I'm kind of figuring, hey, I broke open the wall, throw in the Tarkans, let's do some raiding, let's finish this off before this gets out of hand. So we're an hour 20 into the game, this is kind of the time. Let's see if we can do a push here. We know we have the economies to back it up. Still didn't know that there's something going on here. I'm not sure what my plan was. I bet you I have like 40 idle villagers. Only 14. Okay. That's refreshing. Okay. Generally you kind of get locked into what you're doing with your troops, and kind of the first thing is to get a lot of idle villagers. Not that I really need resources at this point. I probably should be focusing on what I'm doing with my army. And green has done a great job, just a fantastic job protecting this side and really holding it. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about what he did there. He really let this be possible, because me just focusing on red, especially after Red's failed. I guess it was Rush. His failed pressure that he put on me. Once I was able to push that off, it really became a 1 versus 1 with me and Red, and with Green coming in and helping out. So really allowed what was happening over there, even though I didn't really know about it at the time. I just thought it was me and Green focusing over here. I kind of forgotten about Blue. It really allowed this to happen. So great play by Green. I would say he's a team MVP. As well, Rocco just doing a great job on his first online match, keeping up the trade going. Got a base going on in here. Yeah, maybe he's keeping an eye on this for me. And even advanced to the Imperial age, that's how they know they're in trouble. They destroyed his base. He's come out with longbowmen, not totally upgraded, but solid. Let's just look at the economies. So Rocco, that's a solid economy. I have way too many resources. That's almost bad. And Katz has lots. Meanwhile, if we're checking out, wow, he's got enough to like pump halberdiers all day. And that might even be effective. Okay, so he's walled this off. I don't even think I knew. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I knew that he was walled up. So in the Forgotten Empires expansion, if you don't know this, regular onagers can actually cut through the trees. So here I'm breaking into his base. He's got all these defenses. He's got nothing in here in his town. And I didn't know he had so many resources, to be honest. And we're going to take this down, destroy it. He loses all of the stone. I don't think he canceled it. I'm going to set attack ground here to kill any of his villagers that are actually trying to build that wall. Just kind of take away that time that they have to aim. And we can easily take this out, cut around here, and move in. Meanwhile, here is purple pushing on this side, and we have green pushing on this side, and I'm about to break into his base and do a whole lot of damage. And it's at this point that Blue is actually going to GG and resign the game. Any second now. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just gonna keep going. I'm pretty sure it's over. So we're gonna break in here, and red is kind of rebuilding over here. And GG all around. It was a really fun game. I really enjoyed 3 vs 2. Games like this are really good at just building your ability to handle rushes and to play the late game. And I just felt like as a team we did a really good job. Everybody helped out a lot. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I'm Spirit of the Law. And next Friday I'm going to be bringing you another video. So until then, have a great week. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.